Streaming cyberspace into your place, sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League from Five Flags Speedway. It's the Virtual Grip Network's third round coverage of the SK Modified Invitational Series, Season 39. It was American playwright David Mamet who quipped, "Old age and treachery always beats youth and exuberance." That concept will be put to the test tonight as veteran James Lowe, owner of a dozen Outlaw wins over his 111 race career, has a small 2-point lead over Todd Cousins, the newcomer, with just 4 starts to his credit. It's been said Lowe's racing style is dolphin skin smooth, while Cousins is more like a 5 o'clock shadow. But reputations are slow to polish and quick to tarnish, with the opinions of their luster often dependent on who's being asked. Because tonight's grid is based on last round's results, a Todd Cousins 4th and a James Lowe 5th last time out for round number 2 will put the two near each other to start round 3. The driver chasing them both, Ruben Altice, will grid up a few rows ahead. So please stay behind the velvet rope because the big picture will be on display from lap 1. It's time to pull the lever on the Lazy Boy and settle in for some simulated short track racing action that's about to stream your way from the state that gave us the Hanging Chad. A warm Floridian hello and welcome on this Saturday night, April 5th, 2025. It's Jeremy Scott joining yours truly, Bill Stoops, on Hype in the VGN broadcast booth to bring you our Words Eye View. We play Ryan Seneker, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders. All right, Jeremy, what do you know about this place? How's these cars going to react here?
Well, the first race that was held here was back in 1953, and that was the now NASCAR Cup Series. Race is won by Herb Thomas in the fabulous Hudson Hornets.
Woohoo!
Of course, since 1968 was the first snowball derby, and they've been running it there ever since. Half-mile circuit, turns 1 and 2, 16 degrees. Variable banking in 3 and 4 with 10 to 14 degrees. And, of course, one of the more steeper straights we see here in the Saturday night series, 9 degrees on the straightaway. It's a fan favorite near the end of the season because all the All-Stars come out to play for the Snowball Derby. But right now, 17 drivers trying to see what they can do to tackle 100 laps around here tonight.
17 drivers, a bit of a small field by BRL standards, but should be a good one. Probably give us a better chance of having more green flag laps with the smaller field. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at the points. You know, Steven Spies made his season debut at Hickory, so that means the number of drivers who have raced at least once this season, well, it climbs up 1 spot to 24, with 15 having raced in each of the previous 2 events. Now, James Lowe won the season opener at Martinsville. He's got 3 career Outlaw wins at 5 flags, more than any other active driver. Then we go to the newcomer, Todd Cousins. Well, he missed the podiums by 1 spot in each of his 2 races, a 4th and a 4th. Ruben Altice has a 5th and a 6th. He sits 3rd of the points. The Canadian Goose, John Wilson, is coming off a podium. Kurt Smith went wire to wire to pick up his 5th career win last time out. Hickory saw Jeffrey Harden celebrate his 150th career start. Well done, old guy. 3-time champ Todd Liston has a career win at 5 flags. Trey Bloom, well, he does not. Scott Negus is the top running Canadian. And then rounding out the overlay is another newcomer. Watch out for Tim Corder. He's quick. And with that said, we are glad you are here. The season just getting underway. This one, and then 8 more to go afterwards.
Yeah, the season flying by so far. Tim Corder, that is. Your quickest with a 16.221, and I like seeing this in practice. The high line working quite nicely early. We've seen the past couple of weeks. It took a little while, Soup, for that high line to come in, so we'll see who jumps out early.
Indeed, and boy, Kurt Smith is really starting to have some momentum after leading the whole race last time out. He's in 2nd fast in practice. Now remember, the practice times are just a little bit for bragging rights, as they really don't have much to do with the gridding up, as that's based on the top 13 from the previous race will get inverted. It's good to see that, old Magpie is here, number 4, Edwards Foster. The Australian driver. I've been told the Aussie driver. Have to use a Z in that one. With that said, practice is over. We'll get to your grid right now. Should be a good one here tonight. Glad you are here. A couple other guys to mention. John Hine is with us. Good to see that he is back. Okay, let's give you the top of the grid right now. It's going to be the caveman, Trey Bloom, and he's going to be inside of Tim Corder. Watch out for Corder. He's going to get gridded way up to the front, and he was fast in practice. Wire to wire again for the second race. Well, we'll see. Who you got in row 2?
I've got Jeffrey Harden, the number 36, and Chris Davis with a good showing last week. That puts him up to 4th.
There you go. Your points leader and the man who's chasing him, James Lowe and Todd Cousins, will fill up row 3. Watch row 3.
Another Canadian sits in 7th. John Wilson will be alongside Todd Liston in row number 4.
Kurt Smith will be back in 9th. Former police chief of Plain City, Ohio, Steve Hilbert, was starting in 10th.
You know what? Ohio's seen some rain, so hopefully they dry out. I know Thunder Valley at Mid-Ohio turned it into Mud, Ohio. So
Indeed.
I think of our friends in Central Ohio. Tom Hilbert in row 6 alongside Bruce Pearson in the 22.
In the Baker's Dozen spot, it's Bobby Hayes. The Lipper, Chris Hayslip, will go in 14th.
Aussie, oi, 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 15th is the 4 of Edward Foster. And Brennan Myers, welcome back. He's in 16th.
John Hine was the 6th fastest practicer. He'll be starting dead last. 100 laps on tap. Go ahead.
I was going to say 17 cars, Soup. This is going to be interesting. Hopefully, as we said, we run clean for most of the race. Filled side by side through turn 3 and 4. We're about ready to get started here as Bloom and Corder on that front row will go green next time by.
And the small field is good news for Ruben Altice. He sits 3rd in the points, but he's not here tonight, and the rules state that you get last place points for provisional. But let me correct myself. It's last place -1 for your provisional points. So, Ruben, even though you're not here, you're going to get yourself as if you were finishing 18th. All right, with that said, let me turn it over to my partner. We'll get this show on the road.
It's a Bloom Corder 1 and 2, and we see Corder kind of blinking a little bit, but nonetheless, we're just about ready to get started. 100 laps and 5 flags. Green flag is out. Bloom with a good jump there off turn number 1. And of course, we see Harden going for 2nd place early on, 1 and 2, as the field strings their way around.
Boy, I'll tell you, Corder was sleeping, and not only is he sleeping, he's also blinking. Winking, blinking, and nod right now is the sleeping Corder. He's having a hard time as he's on the outside line, dropping spots quickly. Hopefully he gets a good connection. All this going on behind Trey Bloom and Jeffrey Harden. Working just another 50 races away for Jeffrey Harden to get to 200.
Yeah, you know, it's always tough to race when you're blanking all around. It's also frustrating as we see a battle for the top 10. Liston trying to get around Smith to get 1 position higher so he's not falling out of that top 10 bubble. For the most part, though, we're single file with the exception of that blinking car that we mentioned, Quarters. He's going up and down and up and down. You're going to see that until he gets everything righted.
And in fact, Tim Corder, I think, I'm looking at my timing and scoring. He's been put down to the bottom. Has he gone to the Amelia Earhart Bar and Grill? We'll see if he gets back. I think Corder. No, he's back. All right. I'm worried about him.
Hayslip with a little bit of an issue. See if we can get a replay on that as he falls off the pace in 17th place. Trey Bloom, though, half-second advantage between he and Harden. Here's the replay, Soup. Coming off a turn number, going to 3, it looks like. Yep, that's a touch.
And he just had to tighten it up, and then the Lipper tries to save it. I don't know how much damage the right side got on that one. Gonna take it back to the big mover. Let's look at car number 71. It is the Professor John Hine. My goodness, he is up not 4, but 5 spots now as he just gets around that car on the outside, which was the 25 of Tom Hilbert. He's got Brendan Myers chase him. Next on the hit list for John Hine, well, it's the Aussie. Going up, see if he can get magpied. Car number 4, looking at Ed Foster.
Now we see Pearson and Hilbert going for position. This lead group, they're all basically within a straightaway. Then you got Hayslip all the way near the back after that little wall slap off of turn number 4. But so far, so good. Everybody's single file. Also got a good battle for 3rd between Lowe, Davis, and Cousins further up as we see that battle on the screen right now. All tight. It's a little early to make anything happen, but like we saw in practice, Soup, I'm hoping that we get that second line in sooner rather than later.
In the opening, they asked you to stay behind the velvet rope because the big picture is on display right away. Let's go ahead and talk big picture right now. James Lowe racing in third spot. He's your points leader. He has a 2-point advantage coming into the night on Todd Cousins, who's back in fifth. Still a lot of racing to go, but with Ruben Altice here, not here tonight, those guys can pick up some more points on the guys that are chasing them. Watch out for Chris Davis. His nickname is Mr. Aggressive. You don't want to have a guy named Mr. Aggressive in your rearview mirror, and that's what James Lowe has right now.
Yeah, but you know what? You think, okay, you don't want to worry about the points too early. You don't want to worry about them too late. Anytime when you're in the points lead, you really want to keep that focus. As we see the 99th of Lowe falling into the clutches of Davis. He's trying to get into that second place, but Trey Blom is really starting to open up a gap, almost 0.6 of a second. And when you get a short track like this, Soup, that's a big advantage.
Like to talk to Trey Light now and tell him, well, easy, baby. You don't need that big gap. Any mileage you put between you and Jeffrey Harden is going to be wiped away with a caution, assuming we have one. We're working lap 15. So far, we've been clean the whole way. Boy, I'll tell you right now, my breath is being taken away from the number 7. He is right on the back of the 99. Lowe being hounded by Davis.
I think that there's magnets in each of those bumpers because he's just glued onto him through 3 and 4. I mean, you still see the leader, but at some point these guys got to really start to hook up so they can catch up to Trey Blom as another lap goes by.
Carolina on the back of that machine there, the yellow car of Lowe. You almost wonder if Lowe's is off the pace or if it's just Harden that is not keeping up the speed right now. Lowe's got about a car length between him and the 36 ahead of him. But boy, my goodness, Davis is all over him. And the line that Davis is racing right now, you got to think that he's probably burning up some tire equity early on. Look at the tight drive off of 4. He swings it to the outside. Now he tries to get underneath. This is where the action is. Nothing happening right now. Oh, passing at a premium here at Five Flags.
And you know, Soup, everybody's doing 16.4s, I should say. You got Trey doing a 16.45, a 4.4 out of Harden, 4.8 out of Lowe, a 4.8 out of Davis. So everybody running nice and tight. At that point, we're going to get that crossover point where drivers are going to be able to go up high. And right now, everybody's single file trying to bide their time. We're working lap 19, so it's still early. It's still anybody's race.
We like to jump you around a lot, show you all the action, but I'll be honest with you, right now, you don't want to go away from this battle between Lowe and Davis. Davis is working hard. Now, I got to wonder if Lowe's going to say, all right, I've waited enough here. Jeffrey Harden, I got to go. Harden takes a real tight line out of 4. I don't know if there's any way that we're going to get the 99 underneath the 36. And look at the drive that Davis gets off of 2. Swings it up top, down the back stretch. He's about a half a car length back. Brings it in. Let's see what kind of tight drive he gets off of 4. My goodness, he's working on it, but just can't find the way around the 99.
Trying to get in that mirror and in the head of Lowe. It's the battle for third place as we've been seeing these two all around. Davis trying to find every which way but sideways to get around. And yeah, you got to wonder at what point, Soup, does Lowe just decide to just say, you know what, you're done. Just get out of my way.
You know what? I need to stay in my lane. But could we get an onboard shot with Todd Cousins? We like to call this the popcorn position because you got the best view of the show right now. Look at the number 5. Here we go. Now that is the white car is Davis. Look at Davis swing to the outside. Now watch him duck underneath there. See if there's any room. Nothing there. He's following that yellow car low. Look at him. He's tighter down. Got the left sides down lower. He swings it up, nowhere to go. You can see up there Trey Blom, about a 5-car length lead on Jeffrey Harden. What a great camera shot. Beautiful day to go racing here in Florida.
It really is, and I do like how Lowe is giving Davis that extra bit of hope there going into 1 and 3, and then in between he goes, I'm going to shut the front door on you as he goes into 2 and 4. So this is some great racing we're seeing here for that battle for the bottom step of the podium as Trey Blom's opened up to a 0.7 of a second lead so far. So this battle for second, 3-car battle we'll call it, really has given Blom a chance to open up here. We do see that Quarter is in the pits. Hazlip is, let's see here, he's also near the tail end of the field. So those are the only 2 drivers not involved in any battles right now.
Yeah, sad run for Tim Quarter. He had that great practice time. Started on the outside as again Davis right on the back of Lowe. They do not make contact. I think Lowe has had enough of Jeffrey Harden up there, and I really think the 99 is saying, Jeff, I got to get around you. If I don't get around you, now look at this dive down. He's going to dive in it deeper than, oh no, they spin, they get around. That was Davis taking it really deep. Cousin gets into the back of it. We got the yellow flag, and the guys who was racing 3, 4, and 5 all end up in the wall.
And that's not what you wanted to see with Davis. Here's the replay. Oh, a little wiggle there out of Lowe. So that could have set it off, and then, yeah, that was the bump. But what didn't help either was the fact that Todd Cousins decided to get involved as well. So what could have been a one-car incident ended up being a three-car incident.
Hang on, don't go away. Can we get one more look? Can we look at it from the camera? I bet you he's going to get from, how about Todd Liston when we get a chance? We right on board right now. Now, there's Todd Cousins who gets into it. One more look from the car that's one farther back. This is Todd Liston. You be the driver. You decide. You're going to go high, you're going to go low, and let's see what Todd Liston does here. They start the white and the yellow car spin, then they go wide, then the yellow car comes down the 99. Oh, no, he's right in front of you. I swing it over to the right, then I turn it back to the left, and I leave the chaos behind. Way to go, Todd Liston.
That was a beautiful drive and defense, and I say we punch him up and see what he saw there.
Let's go ahead and do it. Why don't you take this interview?
Hey Todd, it's Jeremy and Soup at the booth.
I got you.
Hey, that was a fantastic move you made there with that three-car pileup. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I don't think I'm the fastest car here, but we'll see how it pans out when the rear tires get hot.
Like I say, it doesn't take fast to get through. It just takes getting through these crashes, right, Soup?
It does indeed. Todd, you're a three-time champion. You got one more in you this season? Pick up a fourth one?
Yeah, this one's going to be hit or miss for me. I got a lot of good opportunities to miss some races, but we're going to do the best we can while we're here.
All right, tell the sister to change her wedding day. She doesn't need to get married on a Saturday night.
Yeah,
getting married on a Thursday's better. All right, good luck to you.
Can't stop an incoming baby, though.
Love the yellow flag interviews. Those are always fun. All right, so now Trey Bloom still has Jeffrey Harden to his outside, but he's got Todd Liston back there now. We turn it over to my partner.
Yeah, it's a bunch of buzzing hornets behind Trey Bloom and Jeffrey Harden. As pit lights are out on the pace car, we'll see him take the hard left. And, of course, once we get to the restart zone, Trey Bloom's to go. And that's what he does. Green flag back out. Working lap 34 as we cross the line as Harden loses the spot to Liston. Liston makes his way up to second place, so he says he may not have the car. Was he bluffing? Well, we'll find out, as it looks like that it's single file for the top three. Battle for fourth. He's up between Wilson and Smith. Smith has it for now on the high side.
I got to give an apology to Tim Corder, who I gave a hard time when the opening start of the race. That outside line, he did not go. Well, my goodness, neither did the guy who was starting out there this time, as Jeffrey Harden got really smoked on that outside line. Apparently, the outside line will not go on the restart. Guy to watch out for. Watch out for the professor, John Hine. He's in the car number 71. Oh, my goodness, he's in a battle right now as he almost strips up into Bobby Hayes. Hayes out there in a different colored paint scheme than I'm used to out there, a little darker than usual. Watch John Hine in the 71. My goodness, that man is up 10 spots. How about Magpie, number 4, Edward Foster, the Aussie? He's up 9. Those guys are coming.
No, they really are. And, Soup, I got to ask you this. Past couple of races, we've seen the high line not work early on when most likely it should have been. Is this a feature of the new tires that are running in iRacing?
I've been hearing that. I'm not really sure if these guys really have a handle on this tire yet. You know, the outside line comes in, but my partner that I work with on Monday nights, J.R. Shepard, always talks about the dirtiness of the track going up there. So sometimes, even though the outside line may come in, sometimes it's not worth the effort as it gets kind of messy up there. How about Trey Bloom? My goodness, 38 laps race, 38 laps out in front. He's going to come around looking for number 39. He was able to hold off Jeffrey Harden, but he's got a different animal back there now. Three-time champ, number 87, Todd Liston, starting to close the gap.
Yeah, he's really starting to close the gap. And, of course, we saw Bloom able to get a lead up. He's not able to do it this time with Liston. We're watching this battle here for 11th place, 11th, 12th place, as Davis, Lowe, Hayes, Cousins, all in a battle trying to get around each other. And Davis, who started that Shimazo to cause that first yellow soup, he's worked his way all the way up to 11th already.
Keep in mind, this is a big battle back here. Let's go back and look at this. The yellow car, the number 99, I'm assuming that's yellow. Let's call it citrus flavored. That way I cover all my bases on this. That is James Lowe. Now he's being chased. There he is again by Todd Cousins. Again, big picture racing going on. Your points leader racing in 12th. The man in 13th, Todd Cousins. Now, very important, Lowe and Cousins racing in 12th and 13th. They don't want to get any farther back because if we get to the next round, one of them is going to get to start a little higher than the other. You don't want to get out of that top 13.
Well, the part-time motorcycle quarter marshal didn't like it, but hey, I got paid for it. We call that canary. This is the battle for 4th place. Smith has it. Hayne wants it. Again, Hayne trying to do all he can.
Yeah, I believe that's 75. Yeah, that's John Wilson as he's looking.
Like okay.
Looking to the inside of Smith. You got it. That's all right.
I've been broadcasting for 8 hours, and I'm still trying to get my eyes straight because one of the teams decided not to have conflicting numbers.
There you go. That's definitely going to be a problem.
So now we see this battle here between the 93 and the 5. Hazlip in 14th wants what Cousins has, and so far he has it. A little bit of bumping side by side there through 1-2 soup.
Get that sorted out. Hazlip, who had some issues earlier, now he's feeling a little bit better. All this going on behind Trey Bloom. Trey Bloom picked up his first win just a season ago, and now he's looking to get another one. And I tell you, Trey, that's how it happens. You get off the snide, you break the ice, and then they start to roll in, baby. You're right on board with Bloom right now. Go ahead.
As I say, once one comes, the others will follow. But here's the thing. Bloom cannot shake Liston. He had such, heart. He was able to leave Harden in the dust last time. Now he's trying to shake the 87, and he really can't. So this is going to be interesting to see how it runs down there. But remember what Liston told us. He feels that those rears are starting to fall off. Are they going to fall off faster for Bloom or Liston?
We talked about it in the opening, the difference of experience between Lowe's. There's a nice battle we see there, getting underneath to get that sorted out. See if I can call that for you. That looked like getting under there. That's that double deuce Bruce Pearson underneath John Hine. This is a fun one. Hine on the top side. Remember, Hine was coming, but I think it could be a pay me now, pay me later type thing. I think that the 71 may have burned up a little tire equity there, and now Bruce Pearson getting underneath him.
And of course, now he's in the clutches of Myers and Davis. Davis really making a jump after that incident. He's now in the top 10. He wants to get around Myers, but then again, Myers doesn't know how aggressive Davis is today.
Let me follow up on my point in the opening. We talked about the dichotomy of experience between James Lowe and Todd Cousins. Now up front, we have something different. Both drivers are experienced, Bloom and Liston. It's a dichotomy of success. Liston, a 3-time champion, has more wins than he can count on both hands and feet, while Trey Bloom, well, he only needs a single digit to talk about his only win. But right now, doing really well. The Montana cancer researcher out in front by about 3 car lengths. Look at this battle going on behind. Oh, my goodness. That is the Lipper getting underneath. Is that Mr. Aggressive? That is Davis.
Yeah, that is Davis, who's losing 2 spots. Not just 1, but 2. As Lowe brings Hazlip with him. Hazlip with those early problems. And, of course, Davis, he's not happy. He wants to get around and see how aggressive he can. I see that he's one of the first trying the high line on his own after getting shoved up top, but decides to think better of it. Oh, he's also got Cousins to deal with. So this is going to be interesting. So you see who's more aggressive.
Remember, Davis was so fast when he was racing up front, but could not get around Jeffrey Harden. Now he's trying to work on Chris Hazlip. Again, we'll talk big picture. This time you got Cousins, who's doing his very best to stick with James Lowe, but now he's got Lowe as a 2-car cushion between him and the car who's chasing him into the points, Hazlip and Davis. But now Lowe's coming up on the back. Oh, he's got trouble up here. He's got Bruce Pearson, who seems really fast. Then he's got John Hine, who I think is out of rubber right now. He's racing on the rims. Of course, if he just takes it easy, he can cool off the rubber. The 71 will come back to him. Watch out for Brendan Myers in the 11.
Pearson's leading the freight train of himself, Hine, Myers, Lowe, and Hazlip. as well as Davis. It looks like a Hazlip. He's not settled with 11th place. He's trying to look to the inside once again.
Oh, there goes James Lowe around! And it involves the same 3 drivers that were involved in the first incident. Lowe, Davis, and Cousins.
Well, here's the replay, Soup, and yeah, it looks like this time, poor James Lowe, he just can't buy a break today, even at the buck 25 tree. And we're back under yellow.
I think the break that he bought was he got loose on his own, and I don't think he's going to...
Oh, he got tapped. He got tapped. Hazlip was just impatient. It looks like Hazlip just said, yeah, I'm going to pass you. And he just tapped. But once again, we saw that Lowe went down low again.
But then Hazlip was very kind to straighten out the number 99. I'm not so sure. Can we take one more look at it? I got to give a little credit to Hazlip. I think Lowe got loose before he got in. Let's see an overhead shot. Let's see if we can watch the fluorescent blue number 93 and the 99. Now, does the 99 get loose ahead of time? Maybe a bit of a checkup. We'll give him that much. Okay.
I think what it was Brendan Myers slowed down, but Hazlip still, I still say Hazlip tapped Low.
Let's blame it on Myers. That's what we have to say about that one. Let's dial up. The caveman here. Let's look. The lights are still on the pace car. We'll have to do this real quick. Trey Bloom is Soup up in the booth, baby. 61 laps, race 61 laps out in front for the caveman. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm actually kind of excited for the caution to let my tires cool down a little bit, and then I know everybody's lap times are so close to this track. I'm trying to just stay up front.
I'm a little worried. You're getting a big gap there, man. Are you saving the rubber? You feeling okay?
A little bit of both.
I was going to say, because Todd was saying in the last caution, he's worried about his rears falling off. Are you having the same issue?
I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out later.
All right. Good luck out there.
All right, thank you.
Well, Bloom's got to feel a little bit better if my partner gives a little inside information there, and now he says, oh, the commentator says that Todd Liston's having trouble. We'll see what happens. All right, baby. They are doubling up. We're going to be going green here, working lap number 64.
Little birdie and timing tell me that Todd Cousins is off and out of the pits. Pace car pulls in. We'll get the restart here going as Trey Bloom gets back on the loud pedal. Green flag is out. Liston and Harden in a good battle for second place. Soup rest of the field side by side through turn number 1 and into 2 with the nose out. It's Harden.
That outside line will not go on a start or a restart. Again, Liston is smoked. He's going to lose the spot to Harden. And now that is the Canadian Goose, John Wilson, trying to tuck the number 75 down in there. Wilson started in 7th, trying to get 3rd place right now. Let's watch that battle for 3rd. Oh, they come up on the back of Harden. Harden clearly off the pace. Let me apologize. Harden not off the pace. He's running right behind Trey Bloom. Maybe Bloom has run out of speed. Great racing up in front. The Canadian Goose, John Wilson, gets 3rd. Now can Liston get down? Not if Double Deuce Person has anything to say about Pearson in the number 22 trying to get there. And we got another caution.
Wonder what happened there. Can't wait to see the replay. But yeah, great racing up at the front. Seems like every replay we keep seeing closer. Everybody getting closer to Bloom and looks like that looks like a self-spin net code. And once again, we see James Lowe involved, but he is able to get by.
Involved in the first spin. The second spin, he got straightened out. That one he took a pretty good shot. My goodness, a 99. Goodness.
Soup, I think we should dial up. Yeah, that was some crazy neck up. But Soup, wonder if we should dial up James Lowe.
Go ahead, you take it.
Yeah, let's talk to James Lowe. Driver of the number 99. As we wait for him to come up. James, do you have, Jeremy and Soup in the booth, do you have like some sort of rabbit's foot, horseshoe? Because you keep getting involved in these incidents and you come out none the wiser.
Well, I don't know, maybe 50-50. I shouldn't be getting plowed in the back anyway. But yeah, that last one did a number on the steering, so we'll see how she goes, but probably not going to be too good.
Well, here's what you got to do. Find another accident to get in and see if you can straighten it out.
Well, the way the night's going, I'm sure there'll be another one.
All right.
Well, go buy yourself a lottery ticket after the race, James.
for sure.
I'll tell you what, he's probably one of the luckiest racers here. It looks like we're starting to double up as well.
Bad news, he's having a hard night. The good news for him is Todd Cousins is having a harder night. So, boy, I'll give Cousins and the number 5 a lot of credit. He just cannot get it out there. If you have chance, Todd, try to get out there one more time. You're in 16th. You're only 3 spots from getting to that magic 13th spot. You're going to need a little of attrition, but you don't know how it's going to play out. We started with 17, 15, still on the lead lap. We lost Cousins and Tim Porter, both the youngsters.
Lights out on the pace car as Bloom and Harden back on the front row once again. And this is the chance where Liston can get back up towards the front and knock on that door to get the lead from Bloom. Pace car is off. Trey Bloom right away from the get-go. He doesn't wait. He gets back on the loud pedal as Wilson goes to the inside. He's going to take second place, but actually, Harden's going to fight back and keep that second place for now off of turn 2.
Well, finally we see the outside line do something there. I thought for sure that the Canadian Goose was going to take advantage of the even and odd pairings that put him in the nice odd number. And look at this now. Oh my goodness, Harden made the outside work around Wilson, and now he's making the inside line work underneath the caveman Trey Bloom. The 32 fighting back. They come across the line. The shorter way around is the way to go right now. New leader, Jeffrey Harden.
Soup Harden has the U.S. Navy on his front nose. He's able to stumble his way up to the front. Now Bloom has to deal with Wilson. Wilson also wants a piece of the pie up near the front, but still side by side for second place. This is not what Bloom wanted. He's lost 2 spots in a matter of 1 lap. Wilson's also pretty quick as well.
I-7 clear and Trey Bloom able to duck it down in there. Now Wilson, boy, takes a wide angle in. He really gave a lot of room for Trey Bloom to stick a nose down there. Bloom is beginning to drop like a pigeon. Here comes Double Deuce Bruce Pearson. My goodness, 71 laps out in front, and now things are going south for the 32.
And then you've got Liston back there as well in 5th place. He wants to move up as well. So right now, it's Bloom trying to get down low. The high line's working for some, not for a lot of people, as Double Deuce Pearson gets that 3rd spot. Next on Trey Bloom's defense list is Liston.
Oh, there is so much to watch right now. Those guys in the back, Liston beginning to fall, Liston and Bloom back there. But the guy to watch out for, here, let's go to the 75. He's got a good run off of 2. This is John Wilson. Now, I'll tell you, I've been watching Jeffrey Harden, and the only thing I've seen Jeffrey Harden do to get my hopes up that he has any pace at all was to able to power around the outside of Trey Bloom. But right now, John Wilson is all over him. If I can just look at it just based on what I'm seeing right now, as we work lap number 79 coming around this time, Wilson looks to be faster than Harden.
He's just waiting for that right opportune moment, waiting for the tires to fall off. Wilson looks like he has set the car up for the later runs. As we see, look at all the clay coming off the tires in the sim, and it's probably hitting the car. It sounds like it, but nonetheless, looks like Harden's just slipping up just a little bit through 3 and 4.
Lap number 80 now. Lap number 80 as they come out of 2. Wilson all over the back of them. Wilson started in 7th position, is racing in 2nd. He is up 5 spots as they come across the line. You know what time it is as they work lap number 81. And you know what time it is. Well, if you're thinking about winning, get the mirror ball spinning. Rip the groove, make your move. Get out on the dance floor, show them what you can do. Because it is time to boogie. There we go. Hit the post.
Hey, pays the bills.
Oh, let's look at the 11. Let's go back. This is John Hine. Look at this one. Jeremy, this is fun. This is Brendan Myers underneath John Hine.
Yeah, this is a great battle here. We've seen that Hine has been able to keep pace up near the top 10. But something I'm also watching, Trey Bloom has been falling down the pace. He's been blinking as well. He's 10th right now, so that's something to keep an eye on. But this is the battle we're watching right now between Hine and Lowe, as we got a battle for the lead. Harden and Wilson neck and neck down the front straightaway.
You knew it was coming. James Harden was getting the most out of that car. Boy, he ducks right in front of Pearson, who has to check up, and Liston gets him.
Pearson with a spin on the back straightaway.
We stay green. No,
that's
now the
kinda-
yellow's out. Okay.
That's a late yellow, but nonetheless, you see the field slow down just in time for Wilson to take the lead. Let's take a look at that replay. As we saw during the pass for the lead, that's when Pearson went for the spin cycle. As the field slows down, here's the replay, Soup, and he got touched.
Yeah, he had such a good run of closing in on Jeffrey Harden, who had just been passed by Wilson. See Harden coming down, did not want to lose that spot, right in front of the Pearson, checked up and then got tagged. I really can't blame, was it Liston who got him there, as all of a sudden Pearson was off the throttle.
Just had nowhere to go, of course. Harden just a little slow coming off that top line, and when you have nowhere to go, it is what it is.
They have a incident review team, of course, will look at everything, and I don't want to overstep my bounds on that one, but that one seemed, even though it's always the responsibility of the guy trailing not to get into the back of the guy who's in front, that's hard to do when you're racing so hard here with inside. When it's time to boogie, it's time to boogie. There's no time to lift when it's boogie time.
Well, for the most part, Soup, this has actually been a pretty clean race. We've only seen, 4 cautions, but they've been pretty light cautions, to say the least. Wilson and Harden still 1 and 2, and I think we're about ready to go back to racing as the field starts to work their way around and starts to double up on the backstretch.
If you're a Brendan Myers fan, you're saying, come on, guys, give the number 11 a little love. We saw him making some good moves. That's the good news. You are up to 4th position from 16th. The bad news is you're going to be starting on that outside line. Jeffrey Harden, I'll tell you right now, do not be surprised if the 36 doesn't go. Look for Liston to get in there, and then, hello, there's the number 99. Don't be surprised when they come around on this first green flag lap, is James Lowe isn't sitting in 3rd.
I look outside my studio and I see a beautiful sunset here at the Helmar Radio Ranch. But you know what's even more beautiful? We're coming to near 10 to go. And this is going to be a great battle as Wilson will take his first restart of the race. It's Wilson and Harden 1 and 2, Liston and Myers 3rd and 4th, row 2. Pace cars in, Wilson on the loud pedal. And of course Harden, he tries to keep up, but we see Liston go to the inside, battle for 2nd place. He wants it back.
Look what Harden can do. My goodness, Harden gets I'll say nobody can race outside. Jeffrey Harden can. Look what the 36 is trying to do. Trying to power up. Wilson moves up. He gets tapped by Harden. They keep going straight. Now Wilson comes down. Meanwhile, all that nonsense, all that tomfoolery has allowed Todd Liston to scoot from 3rd to 1st.
Liston, worried about his tires with a handful of laps, gets back into the lead. As it's Liston, Wilson, Harden, 1, 2, 3. But look who's coming 4th. Ladies and gentlemen, Brendan Myers. He's trying to make his way from the back of the pack to the front. He wants that lead, and he's still got plenty of time to get it.
That restart started with the 11 on the outside of row 2. That was not the place to be. Now he's trying to get underneath. Right now, he's trying to get under Harden. He gives him a little bit, but Harden keeps it going straight. Harden really good on the outside line. Boy, to be good, you want to be fast where they're not racing, and that's what Harden can do. I don't know how fast he is on a normal line, but when they are side by side, the 36 is awfully good.
Most of the field knows the tail, but we still just have 6 laps to go with Liston back into the lead. Wilson, he's all over that rear bumper any closer, and they'd be asking each other where they're going to dinner tonight. It's Wilson, Harden, 1, 2, 3. Don't count out Myers or Lowe here. Anyone in the top 5 can win this with a handful of laps to go.
What's the recipe for a championship? Get spun 3 times, but still be racing inside the top 5. That's what the 99 is doing right now. Tip the hat to James Lowe. Don't think he has anything for the guys in front, although if Chaos were to strike out, he could vulture one. Right now, it is Todd Liston. He has led 5 laps. He's got John Wilson, who had a taste of the lead right now, then lost it. Wilson wants it back, but the laps are clicking away.
They're clicking away like sands in the hourglass. We're getting less and less time. So if Wilson wants to make a move, he's got to take off his friendly Canadian hat and make it here shortly. Around 3 and 4, the field goes as nose to tail as Wilson falls back just a little bit in the clutches of Harden, but he catches up in turn 1.
Todd Liston right now racing like a $3 bill, hard to pass. Wilson trying to get underneath him. My goodness, closing the door like Queen Elsa on Coronation Day is Todd Liston. That slows up Wilson, and now that's going to let Jeffrey Harden try to get underneath. Unfortunately, the 36 car is fast, but only on the outside line. They race side by side. That's the best news that could happen to three-time champ Todd Liston. As he comes around, Jeremy, he gets the white flag.
He does, and of course this battle for second place is all Liston wanted to see because he wants to just inch out in that lead. Hardin Wilson for second place. Hardin has as he goes down low. Wilson, he's going to power around the outside. But nonetheless, Soup, it's a three-time champion who's worried about his tires. He's going to take the checkered flag and win. Liston, Wilson, Hardin here, top three. Look at that gap between second and third, Soup, .009.
A great battle indeed. Tip of the hat to Double Deuce Bruce Pearson. He comes home in the Bakerson spot. Look for the number 22 be starting on the pole for round number 4. The racing is over. Our broadcast is now. We'll take a short break, come back, run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we really lock on the gate. Actually, just a shoelace on the gate because we got another broadcast coming up later tonight. With that said, you're watching the Virtual Grip Network. Welcome back to Five Flag Speedway and Virtual Grip Network's third round coverage of the SK Modified Invitational Series, Season 39. Well, let me tell you this. The local ministers here in the Pensacola local churches are a fan of Todd Liston, as they had the church bells chiming as Todd Liston goes from 8th position to pick up the win. Well done by the three-time champ. The Canadian Goose John Wilson was out in front. He had this, and there was a little bit of contact. He got lost, and that allowed Liston to slip underneath both him and Jeffrey Harden, who came home in third. Brendan Myers, he was quick, 16th to 4th, just didn't have enough left to get the win. How do you get yourself a championship? You have a horrible race, but you still managed to finish 5th. That's what James Lowe did. Boy, he's going to be in good shape for this one. John Hines started in 17th position, picked up 11 spots to come home in 6th. But Lipper had some incidents. Nevertheless, gets a top 10 finish. Oh, good to see the Magpie, Ed Foster, back with us. He goes from 15th to 8th. Rounding out your top 10, it's Bobby Hayes.
And Chris Davis.
And Chris Davis. There you go. I had that all wrong, but you get the idea. What they tell me in the VGN Commentator's Handbook is that the viewers are literate. They can read the board. What do you got at the very end there, Jeremy?
Oh, yeah, Tom Hilbert started 11th, finished 11th, so no gain, no loss, what you want. But unfortunately, it's a coulda, woulda, shoulda for Trey Blom as he falls 11 spots. Had the lead for a good part of the race. Unfortunately, some other things out of his control make him finish 12th. Then Bruce Pearson and Steve Hilbert make your 13th and 14th. 15th last car running is Kurt Smith. Todd Cousins with a race, awful race he wants to forget. And Tim Corder, he was blinking his way early on, but just couldn't get it going. Will finish shotgun on the field, 17th.
That said, we get an opportunity to talk to three-time champ Todd Liston. We'll dial up the number 87 right now. Todd, Christmas comes early for the number 87. You're back there. You waited. The opportunity opened up, and you were able to snake not just one spot, but two to get up to the lead.
Yeah, that's true. But unfortunately, it still come with a sour note. Sorry to Bruce. There's air coolers on these things. I didn't see Jeffrey ducking in front of him, and he checked up a bit, and I was trying to keep that gap closed and got him around. Other than that, all the cards played in our favor.
I think you enjoyed when you watched the rebroadcast of this one. We took a long time looking at that one. When you're racing so close, so hard, so late, when a driver checks up like that, you almost have to have a crystal ball to know to lift on that one. You just got caught by surprise.
Yeah, I saw Jeffrey's right rear, and then I didn't, and then next thing I know, it was contact with Bruce, and it was all in like about 1 second. I was like, oh.
Well, it was a nice run. I thought it was a really good show. You guys put on a good show. A little bit messy there for a while, but it was fun to see, and good luck to you the rest of the way.
Thank you, Soup. And I want to give a shout out to my mom in this race. She had open heart surgery last week, and I've been up in the hospital with her all weekend. She told me to go home and have an evening with the family and enjoy an evening before I head back up there tomorrow and bring her back home for some recovery. So I want to give a shout out to her. She's been making an amazing recovery. Thank you, Soup.
Mama Liston, get better soon. Your baby boy picks up the win tonight. Well done. We'll see you down the road. Todd Liston, three-time winner, gets the victory tonight. Who you got?
Oh, I got second place, John Wilson. And John, what a great race for you. You held the lead for a little bit. Little argy-bargy, as our friend Calvin Fish would say, but still coming home second place, up 5 positions. Pretty good race.
Yeah, not too bad. It's nice to have some success in this car for a change.
I was going to say shorter field, so we thought the cautions would play out less, but they didn't. Nonetheless, you had some great battles with Liston, Harden, Myers up at the front. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Late, the car just kind of started to feel real good, and I just ended up in the right spots at the right time, and then had to work my butt off to get around that dang Jeffrey Harden. That guy's a hard man to pass.
I was going to say, it's always better to be lucky than good some days. A couple of the drivers we talked to early on said that the rear tires were having problems falling off. Is this what you're seeing, especially with this new tire model that iRacing has at this new season?
I didn't really notice it, and I forgot to check at the end. to see what I had left. But mainly with the SK, I feel like it's more about heat than it is degradation, I guess the word is. But yeah, no, I didn't really notice it too bad.
Well, John, congratulations. Great to see you up near the front. Again, 5 spots. Anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank my teammate, Chris Davis at Team CDR. And Lowell, of course, for putting the league on, giving us this place to race in. And you guys up in the booth. And Ryan doing all the broadcasting stuff. You guys do an awesome job.
John, thanks for racing. And yeah, you're going to enjoy that broadcast later on.
Yeah, thank you.
Soup, it's always good to see somebody who has some problems the first couple of races up near the front. Who do you got?
I got Jeffrey Harden. Jeffrey at Soup. Okay, all race long, from the very first start to all the restarts, the outside line, the second position, it's just getting crushed on restarts and starts. And then all of a sudden, Jeffrey Harden, who I thought had nothing for the field, was able to power around on the outside, and you were really strong on that outside line. The only person I saw do it.
Yeah, it felt good on restarts. I'd say about 5 laps, you start feeling it, wanting to push up center and then get loose off. But it was good on the restarts.
It was a fun race, and then some good close racing up on the very end. Some banging and bumping, but nevertheless, good stuff.
Yeah, it's fun racing those guys. We've been racing together a long time, so we know how much hard we can push each other and what we can get away with. But I think sometimes we get closer than we intend.
Okay, can't do an interview with Jeffrey Harden without talking about the paint scheme. We're looking on it right now in slow motion. What the heck are we looking at tonight?
It's kind of a mashup. I made this one, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, and I just like to recycle through the paint, so I picked this one this week.
It's a pretty one. Remember, though, the wife's favorite color is purple, if I remember right. So let's make sure we get a lot of that on there, okay?
Well, now she's telling me it's not purple anymore, so I'm scared to tell what her favorite color is.
I don't think that's legal. Brandy, no, you don't get, you choose it when you're a kid and you got to stick with it. All right, we'll talk more about that. Well done, buddy. Fun to see you race. We'll watch you a little bit in the late models. Go get them.
All right, thanks, Soup. Have a good one, guys.
All right, I'm going to put my foot down on that one. That's kind of like your biological sex. You're stuck with it. You choose your if you're a boy or a girl, and then your favorite color, and you got to ride with it until the Reaper comes. All right, close this thing up for me, Jeremy.
I say this isn't Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I'm going to close it up quick because I've got some leftovers in the fridge. All right, so that does this race done and dusted, but we are not done yet. Don't leave us yet, as we've got one more race tonight. But next week, the BRL Outlaw SK Modified Series runs at Oxford Plains Speedway. Round number 4 kicks off Saturday, April 12th at 7:40 p.m. Eastern, 6:40 if you're here in the Central Time Zone. Coming up next at around 9:10 Eastern, it's a BRL Late Model Series from Five Flags Speedway, round number 3 of season number 30. Will we see as much action as we did earlier? Well, we'll find out shortly. For our entire crew here at the Virtual Grip Network, I'm Jeremy Scott. Soup's on with my co-commentator, Ryan Seneca, making us all sound good. Of course, we wouldn't do this without Lowell Jewell. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to go grab some dinner. I know you will too, guys. We'll see you in a little bit.